I think it's safe to say that y'all have been patiently waiting for this list to come out. As a plum fan, I have a decent amount of plum fragrances. They all have different nuances, but the overall goal is to get the juicy, delicious sex appeal of what I get from plum. And I think with the popularity of different notes that have been circulating in a lot of fragrances like vanilla, for example, you find this being the protagonist in every fragrance that's been coming out. Plum has been starting to get a little bit more shine, and in my world, I think it's one of the best fragrance notes that you can find. There's a sex appeal, there's a sweetness, there's this sexy, alluring nature about this fruity, juicy note that may be confused as something that leans feminine, but can be pulled off absolutely perfect in perfumery with a masculine essence. So let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you onto an amazing plum fragrance list that you will absolutely love. Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. I had to like figure out how to construct this list accordingly. I had to re-smell and drink and re-smell again.
Do you smell it? That smell. The kind of smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells.
And while wearing these fragrances and testing them out in different patches of the skin, kind of feel like, is this going to be the right scent for this list? And I think I've developed that with the fragrances that I own. Granted, there's probably other gorgeous plum fragrances, and feel free to put them in the comments below so I can learn and experience those as well. But these are some of the ones that just move me in a different way. Have you ever just heard of a beautiful song that even if you're not a dancer, you can't help but when this track comes on, you're just like, you got a little bop to you? That's what these fragrances do when I'm wearing them. I'm in some kind of down mood or whatever. If I wear these particular plum fragrances, I feel extra sexy, the swag is up, my adrenaline's boosted, little butterflies. I want to get up and I get motivated to even just to jump in the whip and just have a dope drive up the mountains and just observe nature and live life. These are some of them joints. Now I'm gonna start off a little bit left. This fragrance doesn't have mad popularity. It's a beautiful scent. I loved it when I first smelled it, and it progressively got better and better, but I haven't been giving it the love that it deserves, and it's a brand that doesn't have a ton of hype either. And that's the brand Oud, and this is Oud Du Jour. It's plum, pink pepper, and saffron elements in this fragrance. So handsome, airy, slightly dry, like concrete-ish kind of stirring cement in a barrel dryness. But then it's beautiful, it's airy, and it's not an overpowering plum. I think the plum and the rose aspect complement each other beautifully. You have a little bit of a soft floral red component with the juiciness coming off the plum. But then when it dries down, it's plum, amber, and smoke. This fragrance is so kind of creepy and mysterious that it almost feels like, like a scandal in a luxurious funeral home. You know you weren't expecting who to show up, and you're like, yo, I miss you, bro. But you're like, God damn, she bad as fuck right now. She's crying, vulnerable. And it's the plum notes that'll do it to you. After the funeral, you might be clapping cheeks. It's like a vampire with a sugar addiction.
When you're a vampire, you become very sexy.
In this fragrance, the saffron, beautiful. Nice amount of spice. The plum, juicy, well balanced with the other notes. The incensey amber dry down gives it a little bit of a rebellious nature. But I think overall in this fragrance, it's the plum that keeps it freaky. Now this next fragrance is a little ballsy and it's a little rich. Slightly hard to come by, and it's not cheap, but you probably never heard of it anyway. And that fragrance is Wesker Eau De Mystique. Bro, this is like Casanova with a burner phone. Motherfucker still got a flip StarTAC with no Bluetooth signal. If you know, you know. Very bold, very rich, honey forward. I mean, the denseness and photorealistic honey element in this fragrance cannot be ignored. But it feels like you took a whole ripe plum over that honey and just squeezed the shit out of it. Every granule of moisture coming out of that plum is dropping on that honey, just straight
Sensational.
It's like taking a gorgeous, refined, aged Japanese plum wine, putting a stick of honey cob or whatever you find in the old school honey shit, just putting that in that drink. And while you're sitting at the bar sipping on that cocktail, you have one singular rose sitting next to you waiting for your date to arrive. This fragrance is so rich, opulent, and dense that it would make any woman walk by you and question her life decisions. Why did I get married? My husband's a bum. That shriveled little shit can't do nothing for me anymore. Wearing this fragrance might require you to keep a lawyer on retainer. Rich honey, booze, plum wine liquor. I mean, so incredible, and has this underlying like very soft cola-ish kind of vibe in this fragrance. Oh my God, bro. Stop. This is a movement, better yet a revolution. And the best part about it is that it encompasses plum in a different way. We don't want continuous same plum energy. We want plum to be the star along with an amazing co-star, because that's what makes it all flow. This shit is incredible. In this next fragrance, plum and fig, two of my favorite notes in perfumery. Combine that with a name that perfectly describes this fragrance, the Elemental's Cashmere S3X. Sounds like what billionaires do in ski lodges in Aspen or in 𝗙𝙗𝗏. Bro, let's take a moment of silence with this scent. Incredible. I feel this reverberating down my entire spine, tickling the coccyx. I mean the bone in the back, you pervert. Sweet, tart, elegant, ultra handsome date night. You are a walking bite of food. She will absolutely snack. You have no idea how this moves me. Warm, spicy, cozy, sweet, juicy. I'm horny. That's the vibe this fragrance gives off. All jokes aside, an incredible scent. I mean, my favorite from the Elemental, it hits all the facets. It's fucking plum, fig, white musk. You don't need anything else. It's sweet, it's juicy, it's candy, it's rich, it's dark. It's not overly sweet and it's not overly complicated either. There is a fucking elegance in this scent that moves my monkey in a way that the name Cashmere S3X is beyond perfect. Elemental does some risky shit and they do ballsy fragrances, but it's all surrounding like, he's just a horny bastard and I respect it's all around sexuality and seduction and embracing what you're looking for. Everybody loves these compliment grabbing scent profile videos and shit, right? Because the ultimate goal is to break somebody's headboard. This has that factor encompassing two of the best fucking notes in fragrance, plum and fig. You take earthiness, you take juiciness, you take clean, sweet energy, a little bit dry, and you get this monster. This is bananas. Now this, beyond difficult to get, but mass appeal, very loud, incredible performance, and a nasty plum scent. Aaron Tarrant's Hugh's Oud Noir. AKA if Batman started an OnlyFans. Also has a cola-ish vibe, juicy, powdery, also mysterious and dark, but softens up a little bit. I would consider this fragrance sweet, elegant, handsome, versatile. I mean, you could pull this off in the work situation. If HR is comfortable with women passing out when you walk by, fine. I don't know why, in my head is Lady of My Life. There is no darkness tonight, lady, our love will shine.
Not bad, not bad. Now you.
Foreign beauty, so exotic. I just need to get laid.
Just do it!
Wow, the progress in this fragrance, the flow. There's a little bit of a floral energy, there's a little bit of dirty patchouli kind of action. You got this dry ambergris-ish flow, you got the juicy plum here, not fully ripened. There's still a little bit of a bite in that plum. Oud Noir, ATH, bananas. I don't know how you gonna get it. Some of these shits is hard to get, but I'm just putting together a list that's a banger. Sticky, sweet, Middle Eastern seduction. Combination of plum and amber. Resinous, gorgeous, undeniably beautiful. Fort and Manley's amber, absolutely. Wow! Talk about smelling like you're slow dancing with an heiress in the middle of Dubai. There's certain fragrances that words should not be available to describe. It should just be an emotional feeling. It should just be something that moves you in a very melodic, gorgeous way. Symphonies don't use what you don't need the opera singer. All you need is the orchestra to guide you with music, with the bass, with the horns, with the strings, and that alone can just shake your core and make you feel emotions. You'll be happy, you'll be sad, you'll be depressed, you'll feel invigorated without one word being spoken. That's the type of scent this fragrance is. There shouldn't be any words to describe it. It should be, hey, I'm putting an investment on potentially changing my entire mood. I'm rolling the dice. Maybe that opera sucks heavy balls and nobody wants to listen to it, or this dude is hungover and he's playing the violin and he hits a totally turns you off. That can happen in perfumery. Amber absolutely encompasses beautiful amber, slightly warm, sexy, benzoinish, spicy, with incredible plum juiciness. Loved at first sniff, doesn't have a ton of popularity. For the ones that know, I don't know how easy or how hard it is to get this fragrance. I can tell you, when it comes to plum and amber combinations, a monster. For this next fragrance, not much needs to be said. It's, for me, one of the kings of plum. Tom Ford's Plum Japonais. I don't need to say anything. This fragrance is difficult to come by, very exclusive. It is discontinued, and for you to find it for a decent price, you have better chances of finding a unicorn wearing a fire leather jacket with a huge penis. Random and rare. That's what this is. If you can cop it, wear it. Enjoy it. See where my infatuation with plum notes came from. See how it moves you. It could very well not be your kind of thing. Plum might just be a little bit too juicy or a little bit too femmy for you. That's fine. I enjoy a sweet fragrance, and something about plum, boozy, figgy notes moves me in a way that I need to be moved. Oud, done fire. Amber, done fire. Plum, done perfectly. Discontinued, Tom Ford, you disappoint me, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, if we're gonna talk about a gorgeous plum that's obtainable with a beautiful, mystical Palo Santo religious experience, Paragon has to be on that list. Spicy, peppery, sandalwood, Palo Santo, and plum complement each other like a perfect couple dancing salsa on two. You have not missed a step. The turns are timed perfectly. The crossbody changes are absolutely divine. You've captivated the entire audience watching you. Everybody was on the dance floor dancing right beside you, and all of a sudden it is completely opened up and all eyes are on you. That's what this fragrance has the capability of doing, because it's so out of left. It doesn't remind you of anything. When they came out with this scent, I personally can't confidently say that I've smelled anything like this joint. And for me, Palo Santo is also one of those notes that moves you incredibly beautiful. It's a holy experience. That's why they use it to ward and cleanse shit away, to get away all that negativity. So you add that with something so gorgeous as plum, and then you add another spicy element, throwing some pepper and some ambery flows in this shit. And then you add a handsome woody base, adding the essence of masculinity. Bro, Paragon? That's why motherfuckers be copying it. The shit is a problem. Now, if we're gonna take plum and do a little tobacco blend, Merchant of Venice Arabesque. Arabesque. I got it right. I just won the Mega Millions and I bought a New York City penthouse, and all of a sudden my girlfriend is calling me Bobby. 15 years younger. An experience. Rosy, spicy, pipe tobacco, and plum. I'm not opening the door unless it's in a silk red robe. Bitch, I'm walking around in the softest slippers I can find. When I wake up in the morning, my avocado toast is ready for the kid. I celebrate Winston Churchill Day with a plate of bacon, a newspaper, a scotch on the rocks, all in bed while smoking a cigar, ashing out on my 3,000 thread count Egyptian sheets.
What the hell is even that?
Performs incredibly. It leans a little bit more colder weather, but I'd pull this off in the summer because it's not that dark. The sweet tobacco balance is absolutely perfect. It's not overly one over the other. It's a marriage made in heaven. This is an underrated gem that if you know, you know, and I highly encourage you to at least try this joint if you think the combination of plum and tobacco speaks to you. This is like sitting down in a huge mansion watching rom-coms. Like this, there's something so close encounter, warm and seductive about this scent. And again, all these fragrances have those attributes because plum just invites this sweet, warming, sexy nature about it. There's also like an underlying sticky caramelic flow from this fragrance. The more that it develops, you start to get these little sweet facets of that, almost crystallized melted sugar over a stove. Yo, this list is nasty, boy. Now, if we were to take plum, fly it over to Paris, the city of love, and automatically it met its soulmate, and in this particular case, it's Rose, it will be introduced to this fragrance, BDK's Tabac Rose. A little dirty, extra rosy, sugary rose, subtle kisses of plum in the opening. In the dry down, like most fragrances, it's where the magic happens. There's a soft, smoky stickiness to this fragrance. There's also a little dirty facet here. Like you can be sensitive and still be a little nasty. You can have a big heart, but still want to blow your back out. I can bring you a bouquet of flowers and then be your little rose petal. You know what I'm saying?
You naughty, naughty.
This is a silent heartbreaker in a velvet robe. Mysteriously sweet rose done beautifully, doesn't smell geriatric. You don't get any old vibes from this fragrance, but you do pinpoint the rose, and it is a prominent feature in this fragrance. It's also rose, like initially mentioned. It's sugary, sprinkled in with the little juiciness of that plum facet. It's spicy, it's cinnamony, a little bit of an allspice nature, mildly, not overly done. There's no basicness for me. It's just a beautiful, sensual scent profile and one of these rose fragrances that's extraordinarily wearable. And I would even dare to say entry level, like dudes aren't used to wearing a rose type fragrance. So it could be a little bit risky and kind of like standoffish. Step your foot into the water, Bobby. Try this shit out and then let me know what we're talking about. Sample it. You don't gotta blow the bag out. You don't gotta blow the bag on any of these shits. I just want y'all to get into the plum space and see if you feel the same way I feel, because nothing is better than discovering a specific note that speaks to you in a way so romantically. And once you experience that, just like finding the perfect genre of music that you like can change your world. BDK Tabac Rose, an incredible rose and plum scent. And finally, I knew that this was gonna be on the list. As soon as I smelled it, it changed the game. And it can be this, which is the flanker, or the original. Either or can switch positions at any point. Plum in Cognac by Scent of Woods. It is plum and booze, woods and spice, with subtle kisses of vanilla that are beautifully done. Earthiness, smokiness, slightly dry. Picture 𝗙𝙧𝙘 in fragrance. Plum and cognac. Sweet, kinda naughty. 𝗙, a drunken fuck who's ready to tear the house down. It's where luxury meets lust. This is a fragrance that I would just triple tap in specific spots where you know you're gonna get smells. Yeah, under your balls or whatever, hopefully, but I know they're gonna be in this close proximity, so I gotta hit right around here, 360, the ring of Saturn around your neck, just to give you that circumference. Yeah, you got the wrist pulse point or whatever, but that's not gonna, unless you're doing some wild shit with your hands, that's not gonna flow. You gotta keep it in the space of catching somebody's attention, like, ooh, 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 what's up here? That's what this joint has. The perfect amount of balance of booziness with plum and sensuality encompassed in this fragrance. The only downfall I had with this fragrance, not a downfall, it's like, I found it kind of funny, is the name. It's like they're calling it a vintage. It ain't vintage shit. But what it is a fantastical plum fragrance that this, or this, either of these joints could have easily been interchanged in this list. Bangers. I'm sorry, y'all. This had to be one of the baddest plum fragrance lists. And the more fragrances that I discover with plum, this list can potentially change. But just the fact is, some of these fragrances will be in repetition and in constant rotation because they're that incredible. Plum is beautiful. Plum is slept on. Plum is a problem. But let me know in the comments below what absolute spectacular fragrance that has plum that I missed in this video. There's some Guerlain fragrances and things like that. Also, if I don't own them, obviously I can't put them in the fragrance fit. But let me know in the comments below, and I hope y'all motherfuckers who've been waiting for a plum list are happy with these options. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all snitches next time. You know who it is. Biggest in the game. Smooches.
fly gun holder, money folder, Motorola, star tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.